Hey guys, first fan of the night.
First fan of the night.
And this is a surprise fan testing day here at the Metal Barn.
It sure
Was
is.
not planned, but I got this fan on Friday and I couldn't wait to test it. I was too excited and I couldn't test it without Metal Pete.
Yeah.
And so I asked Metal Pete when was the next time he was going to be at the barn, and we figured out a way to coordinate our schedules because I believe that this is fan falls on the list of the very most metal.
Sure. It sure
It's
does.
not a gold line, but it's up there.
It definitely is. I mean, being a cast industrial, that's definitely.
Cast industrial with a nut on the bottom, 56-inch curved blades.
Yep.
Just curious. So gold. I know that Union Gold Line is the very top of the list of metal lists.
Yes.
What top 5 most metal fans?
Well, you already know one.
I know number 1.
The cast SMCs.
Cast SMCs. That's a very good option.
Oh yeah, because those things, some of them outdo a gold.
They
line.
do. They are very excellent performers, and they're older actually than Union Gold Lines.
They are. Yeah.
Anything else? What? That's number 2. What's number 3?
3 would be probably a 4-blade proline.
Interesting. I didn't realize those ranked so high, but I don't blame you. They're high on my list
They're
as
unique.
well.
It's just they're a unique 4-blade.
They
industrial.
are, and they're good. They're good too. Unlike Dayton Lascos, which are 4-blade industrials that are super cool looking but suck.
Yeah.
So that's number 3. What's number 4?
Ooh, probably. I would say I love Pelcos.
Interesting. I guess I didn't know those were up there that high. And then what's number 5?
Let's see here. There's a lot of them that
I know. Because if you're going with TAT, you're going with cast industrials, you've got Wing TAT, you've got Leading Edge, you've got 85 gold lines. If you, I mean, you can. There's K63, there's blender fans, there's.
Well, yeah, definitely a 3-blade K63.
3-blade K63. Okay, so this doesn't make the top 5 of most metal, but it's still pretty metal.
It is way up there.
So, interestingly enough, I recently learned, I would have thought that this would have been the earliest version of TAT Industrial, or perhaps the version like this, but with no nut on the bottom. Because my assumption is always that cast iron comes first, and then steel and aluminum.
Those Bay UFO ones are not cast.
But actually, the ones that are like in the Bay, if you want to pick that up and hold it in my camera, if you can.
Yeah, of course.
These are actually, if you watch my workbench video on Wing TAT, this is the first style of TAT industrial fan. These are far, here, hold it so you can see it. A little higher. Perfect. That's actually the earliest style of TAT industrial. That's pretty heavy there, right?
Yeah, I thought it was cast iron.
I know.
Because of how heavy those things are.
Yeah, but I believe those are steel, right? Those plates are steel.
You were saying
Have you ever opened one?
Not yet. I'm about to.
When you open it, we can confirm. It looks like steel from over here. I suppose it could be very thin iron.
Sure.
Because steel and iron are both magnetic. Aluminum is the thing that's not. But yeah, that's the earliest version of TAT Industrial. Those started out in 72, 73. And these weren't introduced until late 70s, early 80s. I'm not sure of the exact year, but these were these didn't get introduced until fans started becoming more of a popular thing in the U.S. And if I had to guess, I would say that's because these have the nut on the bottom to make them light adaptable. And that's, after fans became a more of a residential thing in the U.S. That's just a guess, though.
Sure.
So, can you guys see the test of the amp meter? Let's just make sure. It's in the video, but I don't know if you can read the letters. Can you see it? I'm asking them like they can respond. Can you tell, Pete?
No, not a good.
I got an idea. Hold on.
Yep, that's exactly what I do. I do exactly that.
Okay. Well, let's. Should we do 0 to high?
Yes.
I'm very excited to see how this performs.
Let's see.
I've never had one of these before. Oh, real quick. Where have you seen these, especially as a kid, but just in general?
Ooh, there was an Ace Hardware store, like kind of on Good Hope, just south of Good Hope and Sherman. I thought I saw something like this. It's possible.
So I'll tell you 2 places that I remember these. Interesting you say Ace Hardware. There was an Ace Hardware in Middleton, Wisconsin that had a crap ton, like 9 or 12 of them in brown 48-inch with straight blades. And I thought it was a really cool install, and unfortunately I never got them when it got torn down. But when I was a kid, every U-Haul store had these.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And I don't know if any of them are left. Some of them might still be there. I think a lot of them are gone.
Okay.
But that's where I remember these was in U-Hauls.
All right.
Okay, well let's do 0 to high.
Let's see, inrush. We think.
Oh yeah, what do you think, Pete?
I'm gonna think a bigger inrush.
I'll go small.
All right.
Goes up to 0.92. Wow. Because it was a lot. Are those steel blades or are those aluminum blades?
I did not check with my speaker.
I didn't either. We can check once it spins down.
Yes.
Because I'm wondering if maybe they're steel because it only when we tested it without blades it was only like half an amp. So that's a big difference.
Yeah. Because I know my other one I just tested earlier is steel blades, steel on steel.
Are these steel blades here the bay ones or are those aluminum blades?
I got a set right in there. Those big straight ones.
These?
Yeah.
These feel like aluminum.
Okay, well.
You got them there. Yeah, the bay ones are aluminum.
So that's possible that those bay ones are thin cast.
It's possible.
It just seems like that. They wouldn't do.
I've never looked close at one. I've never opened one up.
I just don't ever think of aluminum on a steel motor.
It's been done, but it's uncommon. Just like steel on an aluminum motor has been done, but it's uncommon.
Still speeding up.
Oh man, and it's still dropping. So you were definitely right with big inrush.
Where'd it go up to?
0.93, I thought.
Yeah.
Now we're down to 0.88.
Yep.
And it's still speeding up, and it's been going for a while. Air movement's pretty good though.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's a little slower than some other industrials. I'd say it's about the same speed as like a 1 amp Union Gold line.
Sure.
But like, that airflow is like, I mean, it's definitely in the gold line category. It's more than a K55. Those wide blades, and they're very steeply pitched, and they're quite curved.
Well, that's like a blender fan with steeply pitched blades and that powerful K63. That really
down to 0.87. I think this is as far as it's gonna drop. Watts are 85, 86 watts, so power factor is gonna be pretty high. At 0.82. And then I brought with the doodly doo. Do you know how to use this? Have you ever used it before?
Let's see. I got test.
So you hold it down while you're pointing it at the blades, and Rick found that if you point it against the angle of the blade, and it's gonna give you some false readings, so you gotta kind of like. Here, let me show you, because you're gonna have to get under the fan.
I got 787.
It might be right, but you get a better reading when you go against the angle of the blade.
Oh.
789, so I think your 787 was pretty close.
Yeah.
790. So what is 790 divided by 3? You divide it by the number of blades.
Yeah.
So 600 divided by 3 would be 200, and then we have another like 180 divided by 3. So we're like about we're close to 300, but we're not at 300. We're like 260, 270.
Yep. 87. Yep. Well, ready for spin?
Yeah.
Down?
And if those are steel, and based on the way it's performing, I'm suspecting they're steel because it's certainly performing like they're very heavy blades.
Yep.
I'm betting it's going to be a very long spin down.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if all the TAT blades that have that pattern in them are steel, or if any of those are aluminum.
It's a good question.
You know what I mean about the pattern?
Yes, that V-shaped pattern.
Yeah.
My one upstairs does, and
he's got the speaker locked and loaded just in case.
Yep.
So, did you put the self-ballasted mercury vapor in that can light?
I did. I tried it at first where the sodium is.
Not bright enough?
No, unfortunately. I think I know where else I could put that.
Where are you thinking?
Maybe underneath by that other doorway.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Because it might be enough light there.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, because that cylinder with a self-ballasted reminded me of my middle school pool.
Absolutely.
That's one of the reasons why.
Yeah, self-ballasteds are getting harder to find.
Oh yeah, that was just something they tried.
Apparently, they still use them in Texas,
Okay.
according to Joshua.
Yeah. Well, he told me that mercury vapor was still around outside.
Oh, there's by my house. A lot of them.
Really, mercury vapor.
A lot of the streetlights by my house are mercury vapor. Next time you come to my house for fan
Well, I
testing,
see, and I just wasn't sure if that was sodium trying to,
you mean halide? You mean?
or when sodium starts to wear out and they start becoming that whitish color.
No, all the ones by my house are, and I used to think that some were halide and some were mercury, but either Rick or Alan, I think maybe somebody. Your video looks better than mine. I wonder what. Is yours an iPhone?
Yes.
And I really like my Android camera, but for whatever reason, yours looks better than mine. So feel free to go look at Pete's video too. The fan looks very clear in his video.
Mm-hmm.
I would never admit that iPhones are better though, because I'm Team Android, but it's just the metalness I think is what makes the difference. But yeah, no, I used to think that some were metal halide and some were mercury vapor, but between Rick and Alan Pavon, is it Pavon or Pavon? I can never.
Pavon, I believe.
Me and Rick and Alan figured out that any of them that aren't LED or sodium are actually mercury. So there's several dozen.
Wow,
next time you drive through my neighborhood, take a look.
That's rare everywhere else. That's the thing. That's
I know.
Quite rare.
I didn't even realize that when I moved in, because most of my city is either sodium or LED. So
yes.
it's quite coincidental that I moved into one of the only neighborhoods that still has the old mercuries.
Yeah.
And yeah, I like it. Yeah, they're the ones on my street are mercury, I believe. There might be a couple LEDs or sodiums mixed in, but definitely. Like, so when you're going to my house, you usually turn off a Buckeye, right?
Yep.
So right when you turn off Buckeye, the first street light that you pass is definitely mercury.
Okay, I did see it. I just wasn't sure.
Yeah, no, I was very pleasantly surprised to learn that.
Yeah. The one thing I would do is see it start up, and then I would know for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, how do you know? You got to get there right when it starts up. That's kind of hard to figure out.
Right. Yeah, but I can tell just because of that color.
Yeah.
I usually describe to you that mercury, they're actually purpley color.
Not to change the subject, you don't have any mushroom globes, do you?
No.
There's a fan collector that asked me, the fan collector that's getting the Chippendale from me. That's why I need to get the Chippendale before I leave. I'm hopefully going to meet with him on Tuesday.
I know where it is.
Okay. He asked me if I could bring him, if I had any mushroom globes and if I had any spare parts. And I'm like, well, most of the spare parts that we keep, we probably need, and I don't think we have any mushroom globes. But I figured I would ask you while I was here.
Okay. Oh, it's about done.
Yeah, I'm definitely thinking steel blades. But
okay.
Do you remember how heavy they were when you tested it?
No.
When you hung it, not when you tested it. Because I know carrying that box over here was heavier than a mug. Definitely steel.
That's what I was.
So if you guys aren't aware, magnets will stick to steel and iron, but not aluminum. So, okay, well, where do we think it's going to start on ye old test rig? By the way, it came with a really cool solid state control. I don't know where we did with it, but it's around here somewhere.
Oh, it's right down there. Right next to the box.
Pete will probably show it in the camera at some point. It's actually the faceplate's kind of like an EnviroFan one where it's silver, but then it's got a white and silver knob on it, and I think it's really cool looking.
Okay.
Where do you think it's going to start, your metalness?
I think it may not start till 5, maybe 4 or 5. I don't think it starts as low as you'd like.
I know. I was thinking the same thing. Which one are you going to pick, 4 or 5? I'll pick the other one.
I'll pick 4.
And I'll pick 5.
All right. Let's see here. 1. 2. 3.
Those are very steeply pitched blades.
4.
Okay. Oh, wait, it is going. Did Pete say 4?
Yeah.
It looks like it's going to keep going.
Oh, yeah.
I will say these bearings are in pretty good shape for it being new in the box.
Well, sure.
That's going to keep going.
Oh, yeah. But I did not think it was going to start on 2. I did not expect
No.
that.
No.
Too
No.
fat. too heavy for that. Just like you told me my union, don't expect it to start low either.
No. No.
Here's 5. 6.
Not a big difference yet.
Nope, 7.
I have a feeling that this might be a good candidate for the metal control trademark.
Well, the stamp TAT that I did earlier is. Here's 8. This is 8. So.
8's not bad. It's a little bit slower than a grocery store low.
Well, this is your low speed.
Yeah.
That's what
it also takes a little bit of time to get up to speed, too. It could speed up a little bit after it's been going for a bit.
Yeah. No, I don't call low a grocery store. No, the next speed up would be.
Gotcha.
Is what I call grocery store low, her speed. So this...
It's not a bad low, actually, once it gets up to speed.
Yeah, this is what I expect for a low speed.
Metal.
Yep, 9. It's fast enough to do something.
Right. Air's getting moved, but it's not.
Yeah. Like heat reclamation.
Yeah. Although, as everybody I think knows, and if not, maybe I'll do a video on it, the best thing you can do for heat reclamation is to put it on the highest speed that doesn't bother anybody.
Now, if they're high up, like over 2 stories high,
yeah,
who knows who's going
to... No, not even any point in having them on a speed control then. Might as well just run them on high.
Actually, most of the stores still run them on like a low or a medium.
They do, but they don't need to.
Right, they just do that. Probably because of true heat reclamation, they don't want to like totally blow the air around either.
But that would still be better for heat reclamation. It's probably just because either the wind noise or they just, don't want to bother the customers.
Here's 11.
This is a clean looking fan.
Very.
Any place you could think of hanging this?
Well, this would be clean enough for a bedroom.
It sure would.
Yeah.
Know any bedrooms that get industrials?
Mine and that down rod that it came with would
be the perfect length.
It would be, because it'll come down enough. It won't be at the ceiling. It'll clear it. Because I have a slope, so
yeah.
I gotta make sure I clear that.
That's what she said.
Here is 12. And this is what I call grocery store speed right here.
I think the 8-12-20 shape would have to be a good control for this. But it came with a solid state, so I hope it's going to be silent on solid state. That would sure be nice. I keep forgetting to bring those Fasco parts. I think they're still in my garage. Okay. So you can complete this.
Yeah. I did want to hang one of these.
Oh, it looks great.
It does. Okay. Here's 13. 14.
I hadn't looked at the amp meter in a while. I'm surprised at how high we are.
There's 15.
We're close to the high speed, but I think it's one of those things where it's going to drop.
Yeah.
So when we get to 20, 15's not a bad medium, though.
No.
Or even a medium high.
Right. 16. 17.
I hit the high switch because we're over, but I don't think we're going to stay over, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Okay.
Take it off the high switch.
I'm at 17.
Put the high switch back on. Okay, it's still a little under, I think. Wait, no. Which one's the switch on?
Okay, I'm off now. It's off.
Okay, turn.
Here's high.
That's high right there.
Yes, it's on.
I think we are over actually because with the high switch, it's leave it on high for a second.
Okay. Leave it on high. Sure.
With the high switch, it's actually 0.86, and remember, oh no, this is high.
Yeah, this.
Now it's down to 0.85.
Okay.
That's actually lower than it was in our high video, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Take it off the high switch. No, it's go up one more. Let's see. It'll make it a little easier to tell.
Here's 18.
Now hit the high switch. 18 is definitely over.
Okay. Interesting how...
I know.
Yeah, I've had a couple of those HRSs are this way too,
I mean, one thing you could always try changing the capacitor, because even though the fan is performing well, sometimes if the capacitor is leaky or failing, it can cause that. I'm really surprised now it was only drawing 0.84 on high. It had actually dropped lower than it did when we ran it on high for a while.
Okay.
So again, could be the capacitor, because or it could just be that this is how it performs and we just hasn't been ran.
Not just this one, but my HRS that's EnviroFan labeled.
Yeah.
That one does the same thing too, and so do those Caraways that are just like it. Those HRSs, they do that same thing.
I wonder if they could be made by TAT. Is that possible? I don't think so, but
no, but they act that way too.
Yeah. Okay, what do we got next? Solid state?
Yes. So, I am going to be confident in at least say bedroom quiet.
I'm going to hope for silent. Wouldn't that be nice? It's hard to... Steel blades might betray me, but the motor itself is quiet.
Like, this TAT was pretty quiet. It was bedroom quiet, almost silent.
Oh, there's a brass plastic Emerson over there.
Yes, I got that from Peterson, waiting for blades.
Very nice find.
Yeah, he's just got to ship me the blades.
Couldn't find them?
Yeah, he forgot them.
Oh, yeah.
Forgot them, and I said, well...
No worries.
Yeah. I can't hear anything.
I heard a sheep. Well, I guess we could play Rick or sheep. It could have been Rick. But I think it's probably sheep. I hear a little something.
But that's what I call...
I mean,
it's so...
You could even call that silent even. It's within the tolerance of silent. It's something Andy and I tested the other day. I said it's right on the line between silent and bedroom quiet. And that's what I think this is. I think I'll give it bedroom quiet.
Yeah.
I don't think we can say silent, because I can definitely hear it.
Right, but it's definitely well in bedroom quiet.
Yeah. I'd be very happy with that installed anywhere at my house at that volume level. Okay, do me a favor, because that's all the tests, right?
Yes.
Switch it back, just turn the high switch on, and then switch it back to capacitor. I want to let it run a little longer because we're getting such interesting readings. I want to let it run longer and see how far it'll drop.
Okay.
Because again, it dropped further than it did the first time around. Maybe we didn't let it run on high long enough the first time around. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But, man, do I like it. Am I happy with that find?
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah. I found a few other things that are pretty metal, but I think this was probably the most metal, and this was the only one that I really felt like I couldn't test without you.
Mm-hmm.
The other stuff, hopefully we can all test it together, but Andy's been coming over and doing a little bit of fan testing here and there, because he lives close enough that we can just do like two fans in an afternoon for an hour or two.
Okay.
And so, I'm just letting him pick what he wants to test, and if he picks something metal, oh well, we'll do it again later,
Yeah, we got this.
But I didn't want. I wasn't gonna let him test this without his metalness. So yeah, we're down to 0.85 now, and I think it was only 0.88 the first time.
Yeah, maybe the bearings were just loose.
That could be.
They're just a little tiny stiff, not enough to hinder its performance.
Well, you know that most fan manufacturers say that you're supposed to run a fan on high for 24 hours after you install it to let the bearings break in. So, Oh, now we're down to 0.84, and it's speeding up as the current drops.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a tangible. You want to measure it again?
Sure.
Again, remember, so do it against the angle of the blade like this, and get as close to the blade as you can.
Okay. Sure.
And then do it 3 times, and if you get any numbers that aren't similar, throw those out.
793.
So that's a hair faster for sure.
Oh, 795.
You gotta let go of the test button sometimes and then do it again, yeah.
798.2.
Oh yeah, so we're definitely still speeding up as the fan breaks in, yeah. So, as the fan breaks in, we're and remind me to send you the link for this. You can get one for the barn too.
Okay.
They're not very expensive.
All right.
And because then we'll have all the test equipment, kilowatts and tachometers and test rigs and decade capacitors and
Yeah.
doodly doos. So yeah. Well, Pete's got a lot more stuff to test. I think this is the only fan I'm going to do tonight because I already this was a work day for me today, and then I have stuff every day this week. But I'm glad I got to hang out with Pete. I'm glad we got to test this. And as always, this video has a sponsor, and that sponsor is FanStick. And then somebody else says buy FanStick.
Buy FanStick.
To make sure that people not say goodbye to FanStick, but to purchase FanStick.
Yeah.
Buy FanStick. Go buy FanStick.
Yep.
So thanks for watching. And then Andy always does the Jim Cramer. Do not take your money out of FanStick. FanStick is doing fine.